again. So today I'm going to be doing another one of my vinyl collection videos. So let's not waste any more time and just get into it. Last time we finished on Lemonade by Beyonce, and today we're starting with my Björk collection. I have quite a few in this one, starting with Biophilia Glare. There we go, Biophilia. This is her... I couldn't tell you which one of her records it is, but it's a newer one of hers. Goddamn Glare. It's not her best, in my opinion. There's some very lackluster songs on here, like Hollow might be one of her worst. But on top of that, there's a lot of excellent tracks on here, like Crystalline, Mutual Core, Moon, and one of my all-time favorite tracks by her, Virus. I adore that song. In her sleeves here, lyrics. The other one looks exactly the same. Bit strange. Very, very strange album for her. All the lyrics and all the themes kind of revolve around comparing love to nature in a way, kind of explaining the title, Biophilia. It's an interesting album. I wouldn't say it's her best. It's probably her worst, honestly, and it's still pretty good, though. Alright. Next we got... Opening this. There it is. Debut. This is, as you may be able to tell, her debut album. It's on a nice gold pressing right here. It's like gold record. And you can't really see it, but there's like some swirls in there as well to make it look real nice. But this was more in her, art pop phase. Hadn't really hit the electronic thing yet. There's still some fantastic songs on here. Human Behavior, Venus as a Boy, Like Someone in Love, Big Time Sensuality. A lot of great songs. Not my favorite by her. I don't listen to it very much, but I listen to tracks from this more than I do the entire album. Still pretty good, though. Alright, the next one is her greatest hits. I think this was recently reissued, and so I picked up a copy just because, why not? It's a Björk release. It has a lot of her good songs, and this is an amazing greatest hits. It's all tracks from her first 4 albums, being Debut, Post, Homogenic, and Vespertine. So, All Is Full of Love, Hyper Ballad, Human Behavior, Yoga, Bachelorette, Army of Me, Pagan Poetry, Big Time Sensuality, Venus as a Boy, Hunter, Hidden Place, Isabel, Possibly Maybe. And then I think 2 tracks that are exclusive to the album, which are Play Dead and It's in Your Own Hands. But there's so many good tracks on here. I would say, actually, I don't normally like greatest hits albums, but this is a pretty good collection of her music and a good range, I guess you'd say, talking about her earlier music. So, it has the first half of her early albums, which was the art pop side, and then it has the second half of her early era, which is the electronic stuff. And so it's cool to have that balance between these, and you can kind of compare and contrast them in a way. But yeah, so there's some great tracks on this thing. So I would definitely check this out if you haven't listened to Björk in the past. Alright, now we're getting into some of my favorites here. Oh, I love this record. Homogenic. This record is amazing. It might be my favorite. It's hard to say, but it's a really good album. This was at a turning point in her career where she kind of abandoned the art pop sound and went full on electronic, while keeping that art pop sensibility to it. So you got tracks like Hunter and Yoga. You got tracks like Hunter that have a very electronic and skittery sound to it, very, very odd sound to it. And then you have tracks like Yoga and Bachelorette that have these gorgeous strings, very chamber pop-esque, and just beautiful stuff. Then there's All Is Full of Love. 5 Years is an amazing song. So, yeah. Homogenic is one of her best. Definitely you have to listen to this album. I believe it's just on Blackstar. Don't know if I need to show that. Lyrics, I believe. Yeah, lyrics. And why all these Björk records are all like put in a weird way, like the opening of it is in a different spot, like it's at the top like here, and then this is all awkward as well. I don't know why they did that, but alright, next one is another one of my favorites by her. This is Post. For a while this was my favorite, and that was before I had listened to Homogenic. There's some really great tracks on here, like Army of Me, Hyper Ballad. It's So Quiet. That might be like her best vocal performance in my opinion. Isabel, possibly maybe. I Miss You. So many, just like a really great art pop album. This is really like I think where she started to shine, in my opinion. Also, what a just amazing fucking album cover. That's like beautiful. And I believe this one is on pink, actually. Yes, it is. Again, I can't find the goddamn opening on this thing. Yeah, a nice pink record. Ooh, get back in there. Alright. Okay. Moving on from that one, we got another one of her earlier records. This is Vespertine. This is even deeper. This came right after Homogenic, so it's even deeper down the whole electronic rabbit hole, but a bit glistenier, a bit heavier on the strings, and everything just seems a bit more refined than they did on Homogenic. And it's really, the result is really gorgeous. You have songs like Hidden Place, It's Not Up to You, Pagan Poetry, another one of her all-time best songs in my opinion. Harm of Will, a lot of just excellent classic Björk tracks on here. And the records themselves, double LP, they're on white. I don't have a lot of records that are just on clear, plain white, and I really like that. I have records that are like a dirty white with some like some cloudiness in there, some like smokiness, whatever, and another color in there. I don't like that. I like, if my record's going to be white, I like it clean white, like that. Can't get that bug in there. I don't think there's anything special about anything like posters or anything in there. Yeah, no, just the records. Alright. Now we're getting some of her more recent stuff. This is Volta. This was a record I didn't check out until fairly recently because all I heard about it was negative stuff. And I don't know what they're talking about. There's some awesome songs on here. Earth Intruders, which is one of her weirder songs. We are the Earth Intruders. Wanderlust. The Dull Flame of Desire, which has Antony from Antony and the Johnsons on it. Ooh, that's a good song. Hope is another good song. Declare Independence, another really good one. So I'm ashamed that I didn't check this out earlier because it is a very good album. Definitely one of her weirder ones when it comes to just content. And one of the records is on like an orangey red, like a blood orange kind of color. And then the other record is on... Ooh, the other record is on like a neon green. So that's pretty neat. Alright. I think I have two more in this. Oh, that one. That. Alright. Next one. One of her best, in my opinion. This is Volney Gura. This pressing is actually really awesome because this is like this plastic cover, and then you just get it. It's very tight, but okay, really? It's a black record, whatever. I just can't get this shit out of here. All right, there we go. I got it. It's coming. There we go. Vulnicura. That's the original cover, and then this is like the sleeve there. And the pressing of this is really cool because it's on this material. I don't know what it is, but it's like smooth. It feels like silk almost. I don't know what they did to make this feel this way, but it's really awesome. The gatefold there. She's got her sick vagina chest. I don't know. Some of her best songs are on this album, in my opinion. Stone Milker, Lion Song, Black Lake. I believe Adam Dance also has Antony from Antony and the Johnsons on it. Whenever they duet, it's always excellent. I believe the records are just on black. So both the sleeves pretty much look like that. This is kind of return to form with her. It was a bit of a throwback to Vespertine in a way, with a bit where the electronics on the album actually sounded more like Homogenic, but the strings sounded more like Vespertine. It was a very, very interesting album for her, and a very, very heartbreaking album, because this came after, I believe, her divorce. So a lot of the songs are talking about love ending, love falling to pieces, and stuff like that. A very tragic album. Especially on songs like Black Lake. It's that song is devastating. So yeah, Vulnicura, definitely one of her best, in my opinion. I'm not even going to bother trying to put that back together right now. And I believe this is the last one I have to show. And it is her most recent. This is Utopia. This came out in November of last year, so it's pretty recent. Lovely little gatefold there. Records are just on black. This, I remember in all the interviews and all the stuff she did for this record, she kept calling it her, like, Tinder record, which I believe what she meant by that was, like, it was her finding love again, because this came right after Volney Gura. So I think this was kind of like, they're almost like sister albums in a way, where this one is her finding love, while the other one was her losing love. And so there's really, it feels very loose in a way. It feels very free in the way it's put together, which, I mean, fits with the topic. Love is something you really can't predict, and this album is just that. There's some really, really good songs on here, like, where'd it go? Blissing Me, The Gate, Body Memory is awesome. I think that's like got an 8-minute long song. Saint, Courtship, and this one is, Volney Gura was heavy on strings. This one, she replaces the strings with like a flute chorus almost, just like flutes, non-stop flutes, the entire record. And so it just gives it this gold, just like beautiful feel to it. It's a really, really awesome record with a very strange cover. I don't know if she's supposed to be some kind of swamp monster there, but I don't know. See, you even got a flute right there. So yeah, Utopia, definitely one of her weirder ones. Not someplace I would recommend starting with her. I would definitely listen to some of her other records first. But this is still a pretty good record from her. Definitely welcome in her catalog. So yeah. Also, I also had a single of the song The Gate. That was the biggest waste of money I ever spent in my fucking life. It was one sleeve, and then there was one side that had The Gate on it, and then a blank side. She didn't even fucking put a B-side on it. She didn't put an etching or anything. It was just a blank side, and there was nothing in the pressing. It was the biggest... If you ever see a copy of her single for The Gate, don't buy it. It's a waste. Now, with that insult, definitely check out Björk. She's one of the best women in music in general. One of the best musicians in music, I should say. So, Björk, she's just a game changer, in my opinion. And a fantastic vocalist, a fantastic everything. I love her to death. I think she's incredible. Moving on from there, we got a few others. This next one was another one that came out last year. This is... Blank Mass with World Eater. I keep getting these glistening ones, and they keep not showing up in the glare. This is an album This is one half of the band Fuck Buttons, a band that I'm not as familiar with as I am with Blank Mass. This came out last year, and I didn't really know about it until I saw some reviews and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'll check this out. And the second track on here, Rhesus Negative. Oh my god. That track blows my fucking mind every time I listen to it. It's just this harsh, just pounding electronic track that just goes harder and harder and harder and harder over the course of, I want to say, about 8 minutes. It is absolutely mind-blowing. The rest of the record is pretty good too, but that track alone makes this record just incredible. The other half of Fuck Buttons, Andrew Hung, released an album last year too, and it was trash. Don't listen to that album, listen to this album, because this album's actually good. I don't understand where the disconnect between these two are. I guess Andrew Hung really is leaning on this guy because his album was not good. Let me see in here what we got. I think it's just kind of the same thing you see on the back, and then this part is really fucking cool. Listen at maximum volume. I have not been able to do that yet, but I am planning on it at some point. Because that's just fucking cool. Oh, come on. Stupid download card in my way. And it came with since I got this at the end of the year, it came with a little Sacred Bones 2017 releases kind of thing. Pretty cool. Alright, next one is an artist I think everybody should know, and a lot of people probably do. Bon Iver. This is For Emma Forever Ago. One of the greatest albums ever made. And I'm not exaggerating, I truly and honestly think that. Just every track from front to back is perfect. It's not that long, so he doesn't give him a lot of time to mess anything up. But oh my god, just a beauty. And the sadness that he gets through on this album is insanely incredible. This is just a heart-wrenching album. I mean, I don't need to really go through the track listing, but you got Flume, Lump Sum, Skinny Love, The Wolves, Act 1 and 2, Blindsided, Creature Fear Team, For Emma Restacks. I shouldn't have just done that because I just went through every single track on here. They're just all amazing. And it's just on a black record. Got a insert here with that's a blank side. I got the insert here with all the lyrics. Nothing special about the pressing, just a black record. But if you have not heard this album and you enjoy folk music, absolutely listen to this. This is just a next level kind of album. And the next one I have from Bon Iver is 22 Million. I don't have his self-titled album because it's not good. There's one good track on that album, Holocene, and the rest of it is just boring and uninteresting compared to all his other stuff. So this is 22 Million. This one, he got pretty weird with this. He was started experimenting with electronics and all that, except in such a weird way on this album, to the point where it makes the album sound like it's almost crumbling in on itself. I have no idea. It sounds like a folk album that's breaking. It's so strange what he does in this album, but he manages to really keep the beauty of the album intact, on top of that interesting sound he was going for. Also, some very, very odd track titles. 22 Oversoon, 10 Death Breast, I think it's 777 Creeks, 33 God, 29 Stratford Apartments is amazing. That's a really good song. 8 Circle is great. Overall, just a really interesting album. Very odd sounding album. Very singular album. There's not a lot of other music that sounds quite like this album, in my opinion. All right, only got a couple left here. The next one is David Bowie's Blackstar. For those who do not know this album, I would already hope you do, but for those who do not, this was the album he released the weekend before he passed. I remember I was extremely excited for this album, so I remember the Friday, or the Thursday before it came out, I stayed up till midnight so I could buy the digital version of the album. And then I listened to it throughout that whole weekend, for all the day Friday, all the day Saturday, all Sunday. And then when I woke up Monday morning, I went out into my living room and I was on the news. It was David Bowie has passed away. And that hit me in the fucking stomach. That was shocking. You look, it's cool pressing. It's got the record right there, and you just pull it out like that. But man, and the record didn't hit me until he passed, because the record is about him dying. And I don't think anybody's made a record like that. Well, like a record about death, in the face of death. Their own death, and that close to it in quite the way he did here. It is such a shocking and incredible piece of art. I wish you could see all the lyrics and stuff in there, but it's all like all glistening and stuff. Very creepy photography in here and everything. But this is such an amazing album. Just tracks like the title track, Blackstar. Tracks like Lazarus. I remember listening to Lazarus when I was driving to school after I learned he passed away. And it just like, I remember it clicking. The first line is, "Look up here, man, I'm in heaven." And then you go, oh, fuck, he knew. Like, you realize that that's what he's singing about. He was singing about the fact that he knew he was dying. Nobody ever has had that much of an impact on a record. It is fucking incredible what he did here. So everybody should listen to this album. I feel this is required listening now. Such an incredible, incredible album. And sadly, the only other David Bowie I own is the Labyrinth Soundtrack. And this is actually an original copy of this. I got this from my grandma when she gave me a bunch of her records, except this was my mother's copy, went back when she lived with her. If you haven't seen Labyrinth, fucking amazing movie. You should definitely watch it. The soundtrack itself, it's got fucking Magic Dance, Underground. It's got all the fucking good ones on here. It's got everything, along with the score as well. And apparently, since he's passed away, this actually is worth a little bit of money, even though they reissued it recently. But like the original pressings are actually worth a little bit. But yeah, definitely watch Labyrinth. Rest in peace, Bowie. And yeah. Alright, and the last one in this video I'm going to show you is another one from last year. This is Phoebe Bridgers, Stranger in the Alps. This came out on Dead Oceans, one of my all-time favorite record labels. I check out everything they release, even though a fair amount of it is just okay. But this is on a nice, like, lavender record. But this record is a really, really great singer-songwriter, folk rock kind of album. It's really, really beautiful. She's great with words. She's also really funny on top of that. Nice picture of her right there. Great sense of humor and a great, but beautiful, and can hold back when she needs to. Some of the best songs on here are Smoke Signals, Motion Sickness Funeral, Scott Street, Killer, Georgia, and the last track on here, which is a Mark Kozlik cover, You Missed My Heart. That is a fantastic cover. I actually prefer that version to the original Mark Kozlik and Jimmy LaValle version. It's so beautiful and such a amazing song. Just originally by Mark Kozlik. Stupid download cards always getting in my way. Yeah, this was her debut album. She doesn't have anything else besides this, so I'm excited to see what she does in the future because this record really held my attention and was captivating and just made me laugh, made me cry, all that. Really beautiful. Love it. All right. And it looks like that is it for today. So I will see you in the next installment.